Okay, we're back. Hi, it's me, Scott. Hello. We're back to the lo-fi channel. We can't be happy for a week, is what that's currently the situation we're in. Happy music not available for a week, but I feel like this is better than the chill. Maybe it's hard to say. We have a plan. I believe. I believe we have a plan, and that plan was Axio is forcing Kyle. How's it going? So the spherical harmonics thing that we made. Let's just look at it. Well, let's take this one step at a time. Obviously, we need wallpaper first. Oh, the hand cam is on. Hello, hi, hi there. That's weird. I'm glad I didn't have anything embarrassing here. Like, I don't know what I would have had, but I'm glad there was nothing embarrassing right here on my desk. I'm glad I'm wearing not a crop top, I guess. Maybe if I was wearing a crop top, it'd be a little embarrassing. Glad, my wrist rest looks clean. Look at my wrist rest. Custom, perfectly cut to the right angle to match my keyboard. Very stylish. Okay, one thing at a time. And thing number one is not this. Thing number one is pick wallpaper. Then we're going to look at spherical glow. Let's just start it opening, I guess. It'll take a second. If Unity will respond. Yeah, Unity's not going to do what we say. Wait, are there secrets there? Oh boy, there's probably secrets there. Why do I continually... All of my software wants to dox me all the time. That's like... It's just what we do on this channel, is at some point during every single stream, it is guaranteed that because of something going on in the software, like some recently opened or something, is going to show something that I'm probably not supposed to show. I think all the projects, with one exception in this list, they're out in the world, so it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. There's one exception, but it's fine. Why does my software want to do this to me? Okay, we'll open Spherical Glow, and by the time it opens, we will hopefully have some wallpaper. So, Spherical Glow originally was just part of some of the kind of organic creature-y studies I was doing in Pittsburgh in 2020. And then it kind of just fell, it was just an experimental study, so it kind of just fell on the floor. Okay, I didn't tell the truth. We're gonna keep going. And, but one Sean William Light, my friend, collaborator, Sean William Light. Axio, I didn't even stream this afternoon. Saved it just for you. Just for you. Got caught up in other things, decided to do some stuff off stream that I was thinking of doing on stream, but now all is well. So Sean William Light wanted to buy a version of the spherical harmonic studies, but I was like, well, that's absurd, because I did it in such a way that it's a 4 million particle simulation and it takes a pretty substantial GPU. So in recent months or weeks or whatever, we set out to create a version of the same thing that did not require such an insane GPU. And so that's where we landed. And we got to a pretty good place last night, and then I spent hours probably messing with Fuel your passion. Messing with optimization stuff, trying to get it more performant, and then Axio was like, "Well, what are you doing? You should make this run in a web browser or something like that." I think Axio said, "I demand you do this, and if you do it, I will pay you $100,000." I think was actually we can look in the chat logs, but I'm pretty sure that's what that said. So I'm gonna port it over for $100,000 from Axio. Look at this. I like this. Let's go with this. Okay. Anyway, but the thing I want to do is also, this is also an experiment, like moving towards the thing I want. There's all these like fancy digital interactive art frames you can buy. There's thousands of dollars. And I want to see if I could take this ridiculously cheap on sale Black Friday deal Kindle Fire HD10 and get something that would run on it and then like put it in kiosk mode basically and put it in a frame, and then it could just sit on the wall and be like a framed piece of interactive art, which would be fine. But there's some downsides to doing that with Unity that would actually be a little easier and potentially better and potentially more flexible if we got this to work in a web browser. So here's where we currently are, and this runs on this device okay. It's not bad. I still feel like there's overhead. I think it looks pretty good. I think it works reasonably well. We got into a reasonably good place performance-wise on the device, but I don't know. I just wanted to see, now that I've been through this a few times, I think it actually looks pretty good. I think I'm pretty into the way this looks. So the chances of me being able to reproduce this exactly in WebGL, I would say are pretty slim. But yeah, I think this actually looks pretty good. I gotta say, I think it's not bad. So, but let's see what we can do. Also, a big reason to do this. Spherical Glow, Spherical Glow JS, we'll call it for now. Another major reason for me doing this is I have a bunch of Three.js projects maybe on the horizon. Like that's just how jobs go for me, is like maybe they will happen, maybe none of them will happen, maybe all of them will happen, I'll be too busy. Like, I don't know. It's always hard to say. But after not really doing much Three.js work for quite some time, it's seeming possible that I will have two. There's two that might happen. One seems fairly likely. So anyway, and I just haven't done it. And I used Three.js really early on when it was quite young and inexperienced. I guess that was 10 years ago now, more than 10 years ago, which is crazy to say. But I haven't really used it for anything major. Probably for two or 3 years at this point. Maybe even longer than that, actually. So the main thing is I just don't remember how anything works at all. So that's good. But I also think we can largely do this. So let's just grab this for now. And let's grab, except we want the CDN version of this. That's a little annoying. Okay, Skypack. I don't know what that is. What? Wait, what did you tell me? Find the latest version. Oh, so I'm just supposed to look here. Okay, this is the latest. So is this what it's telling me to do? That's interesting because this is not... I guess that's still fine, 3.scene. So I guess we can still use this. It's kind of interesting. Like, it's telling us to use it in module mode here. In this version, this is the version. Some extra letters there. I don't even know what Skypack is. I've never heard of it. Look at me. I mean, whatever. We'll figure it out. We'll see where this takes us. I just want to get going as quickly as I can. So hopefully we have a cube here, maybe. Something's wrong. So what's wrong? What'd I do wrong? Great, 3 is not defined. But I just imported it right here. Does that mean, like, do I have to do this inside here? I mean, this feels weird. Cannot import statement output. Okay, and this be a module. If I make this a module, do I have to import it and run it or something? This is just stuff I'm not accustomed to in a browser, really. I feel like we're making this more complicated than it needs to be. I just need, okay, good enough. Good enough. Okay, so we have a cube here. It's unlit, which seems weird. Does that seem weird for the basic material? Okay, I guess basic material is unlit. Okay, so we're going to try to do this in as few steps as possible. But the issue being is I just don't remember how anything works. So what I think we can do, and I think what's cool about 3 that Unity does not let you do, is that we can dynamically sort of adjust the resolution of the sphere. And then we're gonna do something pretty goofy, I think. We're gonna go from Cartesian coordinates to polar coordinates. We're gonna do stuff to those polar coordinates, then we're going to go back to Cartesian, and that'll be that. Radius is kind of irrelevant, but so we do something like this instead. Oh, this instead. Come on. Sometimes I mean, he did it as a joke, but whatever. Now for a year have I been using the 16. That's a little weird. I guess it's half because, I mean, well, actually, I guess I don't know. Is this actually making this based on this? Okay, I thought maybe this was updating based on this. So what are the parameters? We have a radius, width, segments, height, segments. So I guess you would expect one to be half of the other for roughly square-ish distribution, you know, because like one you're sweeping 2 pi and one you're sweeping pi, so it actually would make sense to do this. So if we do this, it's broken. So sad, I guess. Is it too big? Are we inside it or something? Okay, we were inside it. Okay, so now we can do this. What materials? We need a shader material, I guess. I don't do this. So a raw shader material. Well, okay, I know conceptually what I want to do. I just don't remember the exact syntax, which is like, I don't know. I switch languages and platforms all the time. And so I know like the concepts of what I want to do. I just, if you like set me down and made me like take a written test on what to call in Three.js, I would fail that test. If I had to take like a Three.js programming test to get a job or something where you like write on a whiteboard, I would fail. But I think those are bad tests because I don't need to know that because it's on the internet. I can find it very quickly. It's a prosthetic knowledge in that case. It is knowledge that is available to me, and then I can store different other things in my brain. Like concepts. Concepts are useful. Syntax, I'm not as excited about. A thing that always used to suck and might still suck in Three.js was declaring shaders. WebGL 2. What? Why do we have raw shader? Why is that only with, I mean, maybe that's not what I want. Okay, I probably just want shader material, right? Okay, I'm just gonna ignore these things. And I just want the simplest shader material example. I mean, this is almost, this is in the ballpark of what we're trying to do, right? We want to draw a sphere and then we want to mess with it, which I think is all we're really doing here. We're making a shading material, we're making a sphere. Yeah, I think this is in the ballpark of what we want to do. We just want to do our own business inside the vertex and fragment shaders. So let's grab these vertex and fragment shaders as are, and let's what are these shims for? ES6 shims. So we will want to make some uniforms. I don't like this. Oh, they're declared up here. Okay, guess that's fine. So, I mean, we don't really have it in a init. We're just doing stuff. So that's fine for now. We're going to have some uniforms. And they're going to look like that. And we will let them be, I guess they're consts, but whatever. Textures, we don't have textures, but I don't care that much about it. Color texture. Yeah, maybe we can get away without this. We want to have our shader material. And then we want I mean, I don't actually want to set attributes at this moment. Because that's a whole buffer. I don't want an attribute, actually. I just want uniforms. I just want a simpler... Doesn't it seem like there should be a simpler... deal? I mean, whatever. Maybe we can still... we can still pare this down. So, okay, the idea is that we get our shader material, and then when we create our material, we just, it's going to be shader material instead of this. Okay, so this is going to be mad, I would assume. Actually seems sort of less mad than I would have expected. I guess just because we're not setting these attributes, but whatever. Okay, so if we do this, it's not going to be as squishy anymore. No, we're still asking for this. New position, amplitude, times the displacement. But the displacement could be like, you know, sine of... Do we have time in here? Ugh, that's a problem with Three.js is like you don't get... There's some... Unity gives you a bunch of stuff for free, like the time and so forth, but that's fine. Well, why do I need this? It has a position. Why can't this just be equal to the new position, which would have been the position that came in from the... I think position is from the shader, right? From Unity. I think position comes to us. Okay. What did I break now? Wasn't this working just moments ago? Maybe I screwed up something else when I was poking around. The shader material. We said we want to use the shader material. What? That's with material. Okay, so we never did see the shader material. Okay, which is fine. Okay, we drew a ball. It's red. It's a red ball that we drew. That's great. Something is animating. Okay, I don't want to rotate this at the moment. Maybe we will later. Okay, we have a ball. So we kind of want to do, at least for the moment, almost nothing in the fragment shader. The vertex shader, that's actually interesting. Let's just not deal with normals now. Let's not deal with displacement. Amplitude, we don't want. We basically just want GL position equals positioning for the moment, I think. I forgot the delete to end of line and then. No. Okay. What do you want now? What's wrong? What are you mad about? I deleted too many things. Okay. So we have a ball. Normals in this case would not be that hard because you can kind of cheat it. There's a couple of things you can do. If you're trying to like have awareness of one vertex from another vertex, that's a little annoying. There's ways you could get around it. You could have some other buffer with the information or whatever. You can calculate the normals offline, but we're going to try to do it dynamically. And the way you can do that, because we're basically going to be doing all of our math in a 2D space in polar coordinates. So we'll have like phi, or I guess theta and phi, which are going to be angles, not XY coordinates, but it's still a 2D space. And to calculate our normals, we're going to have some hoops that we jump through based on a particular phi and a particular theta. And to get normals, you would calculate the place where you are and where you want to be, and then you want to sample a little bit ahead and like a little bit above. And if you do that, you have a plane, essentially, or even just a line segment for one of those two. But if you know that, if you know where you're going to end up a little bit above or a little bit behind you, you could calculate both sides if you wanted. You could calculate top and bottom, but then you're no longer isolated on your one little vertex, your one little point in space. You have some awareness of what's around you. So it's kind of I guess it's kind of like a multi-sampling thing. I don't know if it technically is, but you're sampling like a little bit from the past, a little bit from the future, or a little bit behind you, a little bit in front of you, a little above you, a little below you. And that gives you some context for what the surface around you is doing. And if you know that, it's not too hard to calculate the normals. I don't know if I explained that very well at all. Integration. If you want to get all calculus-y. Well, it's not even a texture, really. So it's a little hard to describe what I'm doing, but basically, if we were just drawing a plane, and you were thinking about the UV space of that plane, even if there's not a texture, just if the plane's UV space was like 0, 0 to 1, 1, you know where you are in the vertex part of the shader. You know where you are in the fragment part, but we're not even thinking about that. In the vertex part of the shader, you know where you are in that normalized coordinate space, because we told you, that's just a fact. When we made the mesh, or in this case, when Three.js makes the mesh, your 3D point in space has a 2D analog in UV space, right? Normally, you would think of those as a way to sample a texture, right? But you don't have to. It's just it's a way to say, I have a 3D representation of this thing, and here's an analog for it in 2D space that is very convenient for texturing, but you can do other things with UVs. And what we're going to do in our UV space, that 2D space, is instead of us thinking about it linearly, like X, Y, we're going to be thinking about it in polar coordinates, like an angle facing this way and an angle facing this way, right? And so for any point on a sphere, I don't have a sphere handy. Any point on I mean, if you even thought of it just as a circle, if I know this point, and all I know is this point, I don't know anything else about anything, I just know about this point. But if I can sample a little behind me and a little ahead of me, I can have some context of like what the surface is doing. And if I know that, then I can figure out where I should be pointing. I'm probably explaining that very poorly, but it's a way that is not too hard inside of a shader to dynamically figure out your normals. Right, okay, we need to... Yeah, I mean, it's just, UV is just a normalized 2D space. You can do whatever you want with it. Most of the time, the thing you want to do with it is sample a texture. I mean, that's probably like the 99 times out of 100 is what UV space is used for. But you can use it for whatever. And it doesn't have to be UV. You know, we could have some other attribute, I guess it would be an attribute in that case, or some other UV channel. Like, it depends on what the hardware supports. Like, hardware supports like some number of UVs. I'm forgetting exactly. It may not be the hardware, maybe the driver. Anyway, like if you look at Unity, for example, there's just some set of things that are available to you to feed into a shader. And I'm not sure how canonical those are, but in Unity, for example, it's like the position of the vertex, the normal of the vertex, the UV texture, or text chord 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, or whatever, tangent. And it used to be that all the time, I would just cram extra data into those, even though you have other ways to do it. It's just a little annoying in Unity, unfortunately. It's actually easier in Three.js because you can just straight up have attributes that are per vertex attributes that you can look up whenever you want. That's weirdly kind of new in Unity, even though it seems like very basic functionality. So I could also, for example, calculate phi and theta and just like stick it as an attribute. Which would be the most performant thing, so I'm not calculating it constantly. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's pretty handy to... I didn't grasp... I feel like it's not something I really grasped until recently, and I'm not going to pretend like I fully understand all the implications of it, but there are just things that are way easier to understand in polar coordinates, like way easier to understand. In fact, the way you think about, the way we just think spatially, we don't think spatially in Cartesian. If I was going to tell you where the grocery store was, I would say it's like, oh, it's in that direction. There's an angle. It's in that direction. And there's a radius. It's the distance to the grocery store, right? Like, I feel like I hit the lamp. In just the way humans conceive of space and conceive of describing things in space, it's like, where is it? It's over there, and how far away is it? So we think in polar coordinates, even though we don't speak in polar coordinates, but we do speak in polar coordinates. We just don't call them polar coordinates. It's very rare that it'd be like, oh, you want to know where the grocery store is? Let me give you the lines of longitude and latitude, which would be kind of more like Cartesian, even though it really isn't. But it's like an XY position. I mean, I guess, does that count as Cartesian just on the surface? I guess it is. No, those are angles. Those two angles. Bad analogy. Anyway, if the Earth was flat, which it is, as we all know, I'm not giving you XY coordinates of where the grocery store is. I'm giving you a direction to face and a distance. Manhattan distance based on streets. So I'm cheating where I don't have to store polar coordinates in the UVs. What I'm doing, in fact, that's what I'm doing over here. This geometry that you're seeing is not a sphere, it's a plane. I'm just, so like this is the plane, right? There's a X and Y, right? If you think of it in UV space, there's a U and there's a V. I'm when I look at this, when I draw it, you tell me it's XY, but I pretend that you're telling me it's theta and phi. I pretend like you're telling me polar coordinates instead. So, and that lets me draw a sphere. And that's the only difference. It's either way, it's a normalized 0 to 1. It's just how I choose to interpret it in the shader. Now, of course, if I'm doing like texture sampling or whatever, like the OpenGL command to sample the texture is going to treat it like it is, but you can interpret it however you want. And in this case, it's linear. There's nothing fancy. It's just, it truly is a gradient. It's like a green gradient and a red gradient for XY, but I'm just choosing to interpret it as polar coordinates. Now, that said, you can cram whatever you want into your UVs. So if you have some other metadata that's useful to you in your shader, you absolutely, if you're doing a procedural mesh or something, you can cram whatever you want in there. And in Unity, that's kind of what you used to have to do if you wanted per vertex information. If you wanted per vertex additional metadata, Unity really didn't give you an option for getting that into a shader. Three.js has since day one, basically, because you can just have attributes, which is just a buffer of information that is the size, the appropriate size for whatever the information is. And per vertex, you can look it up. Unity now does have that for compute buffers, but that's relatively new. So that's the thing that was always better about Three.js in my mind. Yeah, 3D polar coordinates. I mean, if it's 2D polar coordinates, there's just two numbers. There's usually, I think it's fair to say, usually you would think of it as theta, which direction am I pointing, and distance. And all that 3D polar coordinates adds is which direction am I facing, like this, and then like where am I looking, up or down, and then the distance. So it's just an additional number. But the radius is totally separate. And radius, in fact, is the thing we're going to try to calculate here. So what are we doing? So what we want to do is the following thing. We want to have like a vector. Is it just called vec? What's it called in here? Just float? I've not written Three.js shaders in a long time. I'm sure I explained some of that math poorly, but I hope the concept makes sense. I mean, the thing that's so crazy to me, it's one of those things, I don't know, it's just like bad math education. I don't know. I feel like it wasn't until relatively recently in my life that I finally understood that, like, oh, polar coordinates are what I use all the time in describing where things exist in space. Like, we just naturally do it. Polar coordinates just naturally come out of us. But somehow it's just never explained that, like, oh yeah, that's what a polar coordinate is. It's a direction and it's a distance, and that's all. That's really all it is. Okay, I think is it float? Is it float? I can't remember. So we want theta, we want phi, right? So, and this is not the best way to do this. Basically, I'm going to take the current position in space, and I'm going to try to go backwards into polar coordinates. So it would actually be better to do this offline and sort it in an attribute or something, which again is easier in Three.js than it is in Unity. Unity makes that kind of annoying. And previously it was basically impossible unless you were cramming it places. You could either cram it in something like, text coordinate 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 or whatever, or you could cram it in a texture, but then you had to figure out how to sample a single pixel for the vertex you were on and so on and so forth, like, which is fine, like you could do it, but it was annoying. It would just always seem dumb and weird that, like, wow, this thing 10 years ago, I could do this in Three.js and Unity just can't do it. Okay, so now I've forgotten what I'm doing. We basically just want to steal this shader. Like, so what I'm doing in here, I mean, this is really it. It's actually, I thought I was doing this in a way that was more complicated, but is this really all I'm doing? That's all I'm doing. I'm just getting the UV coordinate and turning that into polar by multiplying it times. I mean, it already is polar, essentially. It's just, I'm just like moving it from a normalized space to a pi-based space, you might say. So we have a VUV dot x times, I don't remember if pi is a constant in Three.js, and VUV dot y times 2 pi. I don't remember if Three.js mix is available. Looks like no. I mean, we can just have our own pi. Kind of thought pi was in the shaders, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Definitely is on the JavaScript side. I think you just have to sort of define it. Can I do this? Can I do this? Is it gonna get mad at me? I don't know if I can do this. Seems like the answer is no. I mean, I don't even know if I can use that defined syntax in, kind of looks like I can. I mean, maybe I just can't do it there. Is that what I should do? Let's do it. That's a lot of decimal points. A lot of decimal points. I mean, maybe I can't, I just don't know. I don't really remember what you can do in, can I define constants like these in, like, who's mad, actually? Maybe we should determine that. Okay, so that was okay. I like 2 pi more than pi 2. Maybe that's because of processing. Okay, that seems okay. So this seems okay. So we have phi, we have theta. And again, in my mind at least, theta, we're looking side to side. Actually, that's not how this is described, is it? We'd want this to be 2 pi because we want to, I think Unity's coordinate space, I was in a different space. I think we actually want to be, or I know what it is. The formula I have is z up. So this is actually sort of backwards in terms of terminology, but let's just go with what I have in Unity because I'm pretty sure it works. And then we will maybe correct it to be a little more correct, or adjust it to be a little more correct. So what's wrong? So yeah, we have all those numbers, the M1 and 2, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So those are things, those are going to be, I can't remember. I think they're uniforms. Is that, I think, is the term. So I think all of these will have to be, oops, labeled as uniforms. I don't know. It's been a while. Seems not right. But it's hard to know what's wrong when I'm just pasting. Okay, so uniform seems okay. So why are we mad here? Ugh, the comments not working. Okay, just get out of here for a second. Why is it? What are you mad about? Const int to high precision float. What? Oh, is it literally this? Yes, it was that. I forgot. Fun quirk. Okay. We have pi. We have 2 pi. We're getting phi and theta, even though actually I think that's not intuitively where I want them, so we may want to revisit that. We have the UVs. So we have all this. So we're ending up now with like basically our own new position. What do we want to call that? Well, so this is gonna be weird. We're not actually gonna use the position that the mesh tells us at all. It's just there for kicks. We could use it, but for now, let's just do it the way we did on the Unity side. So this would be a vec4, and it's gonna be x, comma y, comma z, comma 1. Great. 1.0. What's wrong? Oh yeah, you're float 4. Oh, you're vec 4. Vec 4. Okay, and now we want... actually, we want... Oh no, it can be vec 4. That's fine. And then this will be this. So, which is great, except with radius 0, we got problems. I wonder if I can have defaults here. I don't actually know if you can. I think it's like 0, 1, 0, 1. 0 times 0 would be 0. So I think this has to be 1. This can be 0. I'm probably doing this incorrectly, but we'll get there. I can't actually remember if you can have defaults for uniforms. That may not be a thing you can do. Seems like you can't. So let's go up to our uniforms, which was... Here's our uniforms. So... How many are there? Okay. I forgot how you make numbers bigger. Oh. There's a shortcut for that in Vim. Just like an increment and decrement. So I think we want these as like 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0 to get a sphere. But that looks not correct at all, huh? So let's check in Unity where we know what's going on. Is it 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0? Seems M1 through 7, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0. So, what's our problem? Is it end up with, is the radius too big? Is it, I could move the camera back. Oh, come on. What's your problem? You don't let me do anything. Okay, we have a sphere, and that's okay. So what did I break? What did I break on the way here? I'm assuming that the UVs are good on the sphere. I don't know, but I'm self-conscious now because I feel like I probably said something incorrectly with my math explanation earlier, but hey, that's what happens when you're just talking on a stream. What am I forgetting? Like, are these uniforms M0, M7 to 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 1, 2... if that's how you declare these. I think it is. It's been a while, but I think that's what you want. I can't log. I'm in a shader. All I can do is look at pretty colors. I mean, actually, that may not be true. I think there is maybe Chrome added a WebGL, some WebGL tools to introspect shader values, but generally, if you're inside a shader, you can't do anything to draw pixels. There is a way to like query OpenGL errors and such, but like querying just random state, arbitrary state, I don't know if you can do that. I mean, I'm sure you can do that with like whatever, render doc or something. Maybe there's a way to introspect that kind of stuff, but I don't know. Without putting it into a thing we can see. So part of the question is, am I doing this right? So uniform float amplitude, uniform. So I think that's how you send uniforms, right? And we did actually send the uniforms. Uniforms. So what am I missing here? I guess one thing we could do is just comment. Let's just do this. Just so we know that, see what it would draw with a radius of 1. 1.0. So even radius 1 appears to be incorrect. Does that mean? It can mean a number of things. I am making an assumption that the UVs are good, but I guess I don't know. I don't know what the UV layout of a sphere is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the... Maybe we should use plane geometry. Maybe that would be better. Because I just don't know what they're... You know, could be anything. Plane geometry. We could go look, but usually... So we'd have a width segments, height segments. So we said it was 1 by 1, and it was like 32 by 32 or something. Let's do this rotation in case we're accidentally looking at the backface. What are you doing, keyboard? Okay. What did I do wrong this time? Semicolon. Okay. Oh, very handy. Okay, thank you. So the UVs on their spheres, because of the sawtooth, is not going to do exactly what I want. So let's just use the plane geometry. This looks... I mean, I'm a little bit confused by what this is telling me, but... That's what I would expect the UVs to look like for a plane. We could always make our own custom geometry, but... okay, so... Thank you. That's helpful. Okay, so we can see this. It exists. But when we try to do our business to it, our dark business, things are bad. So what is wrong with my dark business. Just wondering if it's like a scale thing. Not appear to be. Okay, just trying. So, what do we think is going on here? Am I making some terrible assumption here? Is this not actually substituting properly? You would assume it is. Like even if this, if this was all a crisis, that wouldn't matter. Well, even if it isn't, I would expect the shader to be, but maybe you're right. Maybe we're not in radians in here. That would mean this was 180 and this was 360, but I don't think that's the case. But we can try it. I mean, yeah, I would assume radians. Okay, is there some incredibly obvious thing going on here? There's an alternate way we could do this where we could get phi and theta. Instead of from the UVs, we could get it from the Cartesian. Be a lot of extra math and then we convert it back, but whatever. I mean, it'd be essentially the inverse of this. Or inverse is maybe not the right term, but like the opposite operation of this. Yeah, I think we're radiansing in here. Okay, so what do I think is broken? Either we're just like this is not working for us for reasons I don't understand, or this is not working because we're not doing anything. We're saying the radius is just 1, which would essentially be like, let's try it another way. We want a Cartesian to polar 3D. This would be yeah, I'm actually, well, yeah, I deliberately set R to 1, so we're not even using these. I just wanted to be sure. It feels like then that would basically be saying we're going to from UV coordinate space into like polar coordinates and then to Cartesian space, but in 3D space. And I'm feeling maybe there's just something I'm missing or not thinking about or not understanding, or there's something going with the UVs, or I think 3.js is supposed to provide this automatically. I don't think you have to do anything to get UVs. But I guess I could be wrong about that, actually, right? Like I could be, maybe that's not true. I thought it was true. Where does that UV come from? I think you get it for free. I think that's a thing that Unity gives you. I'm sorry, that 3.js gives you. But anyway, let's try it this way. What do we break? Obviously, sorry, what? What did I do? Do what now? Put the end. Is something silly like this? Okay. So, well, you know. Not exactly what I was going for. Yeah, you know, it's determining the type based on the way it's written, so hey. Okay, so I mean Unity does the same thing, sort of. If you don't mark things as float, things are a double. I mean it's not the exact same problem, but it's similar. Okay, what did we do wrong here? We get the X, Y, and Z from position, which is the thing that Three.js straight up gives us, right? This is not relevant. So we get X, Y, Z. And we say, we get theta. We get phi. Is that really the... I don't remember that. That looks kind of weird to me, but okay. This is not... Oops. Oh, is it because we messed with this? That wouldn't really make sense, but... And then we're saying X, Y, Z. Okay. That... That didn't do anything. Well, I mean, of course not. Right. Sorry. If we're doing it this way, we need it to be... We need the sphere geometry. We need to be spherical here. Duh. Okay. And then I forgot... What do we tell it? It's width like this. Okay, so we have a sphere. This is us converting it into nonsense land and back. So I think this is okay. I don't know what the problem is here. I mean, this feels way heavier and gross, but whatever. Maybe we'll figure out how we want to do it. I don't know, man. I'm deciding on whether or not it should be positive or negative. But we'll address this separately, and we'll calculate it offline, so we're not constantly doing it. We don't want to do that in the shader, but that's okay for now. And just to see, just to verify, we can like mess with the radius as we want. Okay, so now good grief. No. Can we do this? Mess with the radius. Okay. Well, pretty weird, huh? But I think it's not all bad. Because I think it is technically working. We really want some ways to slide this. Maybe DAC GUI, but I think if we do something here. Okay, so I think we're in the ballpark. Like, I think this is the thing, you know? I think we're kind of getting there. Let's just match one from over here just to see what we're doing. I think it's going to be on a different axis, but again, we'll just ignoring that for the moment. Just baby steps. Like this cool guy would be 4, 4, 2, 2, 1, 2, 4, 5. So if we were 4, 4, 2, 2, 1, 2, 4, 5. I think it's going to be along the wrong axis, but okay. I think this is the same thing. I think these are the same objects. So I think we're headed there. I think we don't have enough resolution on our sphere, of course, so let's go ahead and update that. Yeah. So there's definitely some issues. I don't know what those holes are. Oh, I do know what those holes are. It's the zigzaggy sawtooth. So actually, I think that's what it is. But if we had an icosahedron geometry, would that be better? Let's try it. Maybe this would actually be better in every way. Stop it. And they can have radius of 1 and whatever, 4. That's not the thing. Icosahedron 3 dot. You can't do that. Who are you kidding? Okay. So that's kind of interesting. That maybe we want that. We have to figure out like. Oh, come on. Don't add the. Wait. Okay. Sorry. We did want that. It's just not called cube. Still feels like there's weird holes in there. But feels like we're getting there. I prefer. I mean, whatever. There's a lot of ways we can calculate this. Let's get David a link so he can come criticize me. So this is icosahedron geometry. Is there a way in Three.js to render with a wireframe? But we can't do that with, yeah, of course not. We can't do that with while we're custom doing fancy shadery stuff. So let's start to try to think about how we want to colorize this. And one very easy answer is to just do what we did over yonder, which is in here, in this shader, we just set the color, and we're just basically lerping based on the length of the vertex, which is really the radius. So we just have to remember how to do that in GLSL in Webland. I forgot how to do this. Is there color? How do we do it? How do we send a color to the frag shader? If it was a uniform, it would be there, but that would mean it was coming from. That's not what we want. We don't want it to be a uniform. We want it to be. I think it's still varying, right? If you just want to send something from place to place, let's try it, I guess. Oops. I feel like there's a reason this isn't going to work, but it's something like this. I'm kind of forgetting the terminology. Okay. So if I'm in here and we do this. Okay. So we just need to mix based on the radius or something. Is it mix over here or is it lerp? Based on the radius. It's mix, right? Okay. So kind of, sort of. And then we want to do some Fresnel also. We got to figure that out. But this, at least this will let us start to know what's going on. These weird holes everywhere. All this geometry have holes in it. That seems pretty weird. So the thing I'm most confused about, I guess, is the UVs. Maybe there's something about the plane geometry. Where was your link, Axo? That was actually a helpful link. Like, are these UVs not what you think they are? Like, why doesn't it actually show the coordinates? Or is this how they sit in UVs? Leaf. Those kind of look like I would expect them to look. So I don't understand what I'm missing. Yeah, but is it truly 0, 0 to 1? Are these like scaled in some weird way? You wouldn't think so. You would think this is just straight up normalized 0 to 1, right? Like that would be really weird if it wasn't. Okay, anyway. So we've got this. I mean, we're probably getting way too dense here, right? Like. I don't know what those holes are. It must be some way, something about the icosahedron geometry that is not. Don't we want buffer geometry actually, now that I think about it? Isn't that what we actually want? I thought there was like a. Maybe I'm thinking of something old. Buffer geometry. I thought there were some, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking of some other software or platform, or who even knows. So you could have like sphere buffer geometry, but maybe I just used buffer geometry in the past to store a sphere. That doesn't sound right though. I seem to remember. Whatever. Well, the thing about sphere geometry, if you look at the UVs, you can see the way spheres are often drawn. Where the heck is that thing? The way spheres are often drawn is like this, with like teeth at the top. So you have what is essentially a plane that is wrapped around like we were talking about, but then you've got holes at the top and bottom. One way to do that is make this top point just shrink basically into nothingness, but then you end up with all of these points like sitting on one place in space. For whatever reason, the world doesn't like to do that. You're right. The icosahedron does have teeth. So that they just, so I think it's the way the geometry is made and the way that the triangles are made is that they are not sharing. I think these are separate triangles and they're not sharing this vertex. I might be wrong about that, but I think that's what's happening. And maybe there's a reason that it has to be that way that I'm not thinking of. But yes, you're right. We just must be seeing that. And so I mean, I'm just using the little rotate. So it is moving. I think it's in the same places. Well, it wouldn't matter if you weren't just messing with the. I mean, the UVs for the icosahedron are weird, so I don't know exactly what they're going for with those. I mean, maybe you're just expected to do your fun thing. I don't know. I don't know what they want me to do with this. But we're not even using the UVs right now, actually, right? So I'm still very confused about this. Why can't I do this? What am I doing wrong here? Like, what about this is not okay? Because that's what I want to do. I want to do. You mean like animate along? I don't have time in here yet. I think I know what you mean. Like slide across. Oh, I see what you mean. Just in here. Whoa. That was weird. That didn't work as expected. Don't do that. I mean, I guess we could do this. This also is not going to work intuitively the way I think it is. But it's okay. I mean, the good news is the math is working. I don't want to use this. I mean, I kind of do, actually. What do I actually want to use? I would prefer to use planar geometry, and we do the spherification all ourselves. Did you got better coordinates here? Or, sorry, better conversion here? You like this one better? Is this what all the kids are doing these days? These kids and well, what do we do wrong here? We may not have all these. We don't have ATAN 2 in shaders. That doesn't sound right. There's a 2 argument for ATAN. I think this is actually just ATAN, but it has the 2 argument, which is essentially ATAN 2. I think that's how this works. Okay. Well, I mean, that looks pretty good. Actually, I'll save the day. Looks pretty good. Pretty into it. Maybe we don't need this much density. This feels like we're very dense. Uh-oh. Wait, what did I do? I thought, wasn't it just working? What happened? Oh, we didn't have the float. I see. Get that R. Okay. It was a coordinate conversion, which makes more sense now that I think about it, because UVs don't matter. We weren't using the UVs, so the UVs were irrelevant. We're literally just taking this thing where it is in space and just moving it out along the normal of its radius, basically. So that makes more sense. That's all good. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of into this. I feel like this could work. I don't have an intuitive sense. So actually, this means that the sphere geometry should be fine. Which it's a little easier for me to grasp. Well, no, there's our sawtooth, I guess. See it? So maybe we do want the icosahedron. Only problem with me with the icosahedron, even though I think it's more appropriate for what we want, because it just has a distribution that makes more sense to me. I just don't have an intuitive sense of the detail density. I mean, that's obviously low. So it's just me guessing here. But I guess that's fine. We can just put in numbers until the numbers make me feel good about myself. Okay. So, what do we want to do now? The logical thing would be to either add dat GUI or, animate those uniforms so that we could see it animate over time the way we expect. I still feel like there's a little see, like right here, there's some jiggy-jaggities. Maybe we can go higher here. I just don't know. Are we like squaring? I don't have a sense of like, maybe we're making this extraordinarily, insanely, overly complex. Like, I don't know how many vertices we've just added when we create this. I guess we could say like, I may regret this. I just want to see like a size of the okay, that's actually okay. Well, it's 253,000 vertices, which is that's not trivial, but it's not crazy. But 65,000. So this is basically, I think this is more like the resolution we were in Unity, right? Although it does look a bit smoother here. I don't have an explanation for that. Right? 16,000 vertices versus Yeah, it's I don't think what I'm saying is anti-aliasing. I think you can see like in here there's some jiggy jaggies, not the like super fine, like the super high frequency jiggy jaggies. I mean just some detail on these parts of the geometry. Once they get stretched so much, I think there is you kind of lose some curvature there, so you basically see some flat lines. Actually, you can see it right as it goes around the corner. See how it like right now, point and point. There should be no points, but that's because there's so much distortion going on, point, that it is making those edges look a little sharper, but that's not really happening here. Over here, they look pretty smooth. It may just be the way that the points are distributed. Actually, is this true or false? Like, is this actually this many, or is it this many divided by 3 because that's how many? I think this is how many entries of a size 3, so we can think about that. I mean, that's a thing that's relatively tunable, but it feels like if we go 64, it's quite smooth. So you see, it's not perfect, but we lose some of the jiggy jaggies there. But then it's a order of magnitude more vertices. I mean, it's more than that. It's power 2. Sorry, it's not an order of magnitude more. It's the next square, I guess. Order of magnitude would mean 650. So it's not order of magnitude, but it's like the next square, I think is the way to put it. Anyway, so I don't know. Still confused by what's going on with the UVs with that plane. Maybe we'll revisit it, but I feel like this is okay now. So the thing I want to do, even though it is inappropriate, timing wise. Let's get stats up because I think that's actually important. And let's look at it on the device. I don't want to npm install stats. Why is everything package managery now? Can't I just want to frickin'... What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Just let me... What does the world come to? How did we get here? I just want to include... I want this. Can I just have this? Can I just have this one thing, please? Okay, so, oops. Good game. Yeah, I think that's what I was saying. I think that makes sense. The rotation of the icosahedron or its seam. I don't know. I mean, we could go look at the math of how they generate it. It could be something about the way they are generating their icosahedron. You would think there shouldn't be any seams, so maybe it really was just the bad calculation. You know, I just cut and pasted that quickly. I'm guilty. So it could just be that there was something dumb about the way that... Okay. We got some stats. Stats. I don't remember how to use stats. How do you use it? We got to make with stats, and add a stats, and draw a stats. Pretty weird. Why would they do this? It's weird. I mean, I'm sure there's a reason. Draclin, I broke everything. Welcome. Why doesn't this work? I don't know. Why doesn't stats have a show panel? That's not how you're supposed to do this. Looks like a thing. Stats is a DOM element. Well, it has a get DOM element. This looks wrong. Is this totally the wrong version or something? What version? R17? What version did we get? Oh, why is JavaScript so complicated? And dumb. Both dumb and complicated. What is this? CDN out? This? Can I have this? How would I want it all along? Maybe. This title is very confusing to me. Uh-oh. What? What happened? Why is everything so terrible? Is this supposed to be a module? Am I supposed to do... Why is this so dumb? Why can't I just include a thing? Why do I have to use the package manager? GS outs. I mean, but why? I don't want to use a package manager. Why do I need to have like an npm project, a node project set up to install a module when I just want to grab something? I mean, I guess I could grab that min file from the GitHub repository. It's much more convenient while I'm trying to rapidly develop something to just grab something from CDN. That was a weird site. I mean, you're Super Saiyan? I mean, I don't really want local copies of these things while I'm just trying them out. That's so wrong of me? Am I so wrong? I feel like I shouldn't have to npm install a tool for browser performance. Right? Right? We could do this. Not this. So we could do this. We could do this. Okay, there's a module version. Did I accidentally end up with a module version? No, we have stats min. I don't get it. I don't get it. But whatever. Whatever. Tab new or new tab? Oops. New tab. Stats, 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 stats. Okay. Outrageous. Are you happy now, web browser? Great, we got stats. We did it. Why? What? It's 6 lines long, yeah, but it would have been 1 line long to just have them provide a CDN import that worked. Okay, it cycles through. I want to see all 3. Is that not a thing I can do? I thought you could. All right, so it'll default to 0. Oops. All right, 60 fips. How many fips we got over here? You know, it's funny. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of torn on it because honestly, whatever. This is me wanting it both ways. The last time I did a big Three.js project was as part of a larger application that was, I think my IP address was 175. That was part of a big application where I was using package management, and at the time I was annoyed that Three.js was not like fully modular, but now what I asked for came true, monkey's paw style. IP config. How do you do that on Windows? IP config /all. Yeah. It is 175. Okay, let's try this little kiosk mode, dude. Which is sort of weird. Just to see what we're getting. So HTTP. Where's the colon? And no. Oh wait, we can have the hand cam. It's time for the hand cam. Very important. Great. I mean, I don't mind. Now that you can use ES6 modules in the browser, that's fine. It's just like, where do you get them? It's just old habits. 192.168.0.175 colon 8080 ADHD. Okay. How do I go there? Nope. Is that wrong? Is that wrong? Did I lie? No, I did. I just haven't set it up for this particular machine. My actual machines that are services, they do. Actually, I could. I guess this would be. I just haven't assigned an IP in this. It would have like whatever hostname.local or what or I don't know what Android would want it to be. Do you have all of your PCs have internal host names? All my servicey things do, but not just this random computer. 192.168.0.75. I mean, you're right. Looking at the situation I'm in, I probably should do that. Now I feel bad that I disappointed Binary by not having 192.168.0. Wait, is it 8080? It is 8080. What's wrong? 192.168.0.175.8080. Why are you sad? Oh, is this attached to the loser network? This device is probably on the loser network, not the winner network. I think that's all it is. Let me get on the winner network. Okay. Yeah, I mean, obviously, this is like my main Windows PC that I'm in front of all the time, and I do this kind of thing all the time. So yes, it makes total sense for me to have a host name. But this device is not on the real. Android. Just let me. Okay, I don't know how to Android. I don't know how to Android apparently. Like literally do not. I literally do not know. What? I don't know. It's not showing the fun Android buttons at the bottom, and now I'm trapped. Maybe that's on purpose. Okay, I guess I have to exit the kiosk mode land. Oh no, I'm stuck on skip registration. Okay. Amazon's mad at me because I'm not. No, not now. Skip. Amazon's mad at me because I keep skipping the registration because they really want to show me ads. They want it so bad. Uh-oh, they're not letting me skip the thing anymore. Uh-oh. I guess that was one advantage to... It's starting every time. So I think I had an ADB command that would kill this stupid thing. Okay, wait. Did it actually let me out? Let me out of here. Yeah, it's not letting me skip. So I think there was some ADB command. I think we can like mess with it, kill it, but... Kill the launcher. Okay, I killed the launcher. So now, can I Android? I just need to connect to the real... Wi-Fi. How do I set the access point to use? Okay, nobody look at my Wi-Fi password. Don't look. I don't know what it is. I have to look it up. Got numbers in there. Oh, it's 10:30 already. What is I wonder what does Three.js recommend for it? I should go look and see like what is their idea of a proper development environment. Okay, is the hand cam turned off? Nobody look. I don't want anybody to come get on my Wi-Fi. Doodle-doo. Okay. Check password and try again. Awesome. Oh boy. We in? Connected. Okay. That was an extra amount of trouble, but it's okay. So we go to the goofball PolyKS browser. We're gonna go to the start URL. Okay, we did it. And we are okay. We got 60 FPS on this goofball machine, so that's good. I don't know how to force it. Okay, well, it's silly, but 60 FPS is a good sign. Even though we went a bit overboard with the geometry of our icosahedron. Hedon? Icosahedron? That's not the word. I like it though. Icosahedonism. So, yeah, where's this thing? This thing. So it's doing okay. Seems solid. Let's actually. There's weird. The geometry is not ideal. Actually, there's lots of weird squiggly and squishies and lots of weird stuff. I mean, I am weirdly zoomed into it for reasons I don't understand. Probably like some mobile viewport stuff we should cram in. But yeah, the geometry just has lots of little fussy nooks and crannies. And this is with those 32. Okay. So it was 64. I don't know how to refresh this. Clear the cache, redo start URL. Okay. Not terrible, not great, but not offensive. And I feel like we can figure it out. So 60 FPS. So let's just try to get some post-processing and then call it a day. That's effects composer. Is that what we want? For what? Unreal Bloom? I really like this demo. Okay, I don't remember how to do this at all. I think you have to like... Oh boy. What? What? What is this? What does this even mean? Okay, so stuff like effects composer and so forth are not in like Three.js core. What is it? What do they want you to do? Like, what is the current suggestion for, hey, oh, Mr. Dude, for like, static hosting or CDN? Yeah, that's what I want. For most users, installing from npm is the best choice. Oh boy. Webpack. What was the thing we had to use? Vite. I've never even heard of Vite. The problem with JavaScript is like the thing that's popular changes every single week. Like, what was the thing we just had to use for Twitch? That was some other thing I'd never heard of. Some other builder. It's like flavor of the week. Well, it seems like we can at least do this stuff. Like, so let's just do this for now. Because I just want to move quickly on this, and we can... I should not need a build environment just to quickly test something in a web browser, right? Right? Am I crazy? Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the crazy one. Okay. So anyway, we need what? We need Might as well throw in orbit controls and all the fun stuff. So presumably I want all this business. And I just need to prefix everything with like /examples. I mean, I don't know. I've only used web. I mean, I've never used, I'm not a build person, like a build environment bundling build tool person. And that goes back like 25 years to just be like, I don't really want to make a make file. Like I'll just, I know what the build command is, I'll just do it. So even in realms where most people would probably use some kind of build system or whatever, I've just never been that kind of person. Unless it's explicitly required, which, you know, sometimes it kind of is. But left to my own devices, especially if it's just a thing that's like, I'm experimenting. Was it this? It just seems crazy. It seems outrageous to me. What an outrage. That didn't work at all. Why didn't that work? There's some interesting Vim problems here. This is one of those places where I'm like mixing Vim commands with Visual Studio Code stuff. So like this multi-select is really Visual Studio Code. So I would expect to be able to just hit paste here, but it only pastes on the first instance, which sucks. And then if I paste again, it's not in the right place. So I'm not a fan. I mean, the other way to do it, which feels weird, is to like do this, and now I'm in like more like Visual Studio Code land. I don't know what to do. Well, like, why is this so stupid? Oh my gosh! So I can't use like Vim paste with a multi-line select. Whatever. With like the multi-line, this is not. I've definitely done this before. Maybe I'm just forgetting exactly what needs to be done, but like the way I'm doing the multiple select, which is my favorite thing. I guess it kind of comes from Sublime, Sublime family tree, and I still prefer that to any Vim way of doing things. But I want to use Vim's replaciness. Okay, so what's wrong? What's wrong this time? I mean, that's outrageous. Okay, HTTP server, I'm willing to have that installed. Yeah, but like, I don't know, sure, refresh and code change, but like I can hit Control R. It doesn't hurt. I can do that. Okay, what did we break? Did I break this somehow? What's the matter? I mean, it seems like something in here is broken, right? So what's broken? What extremely obvious thing? I mean, maybe I got that wrong. I thought that's what it said. Wasn't there an example that showed this thing? Version /examples /controls. Import orbit controls from. What's the issue? JSM. What? Oh. Well, but didn't I do this the same way? I mean, I see what you mean. Use the same CDN to install the other components. I mean, is that not? Star S3. But I see what you mean. Like, is it lowercase instead of uppercase? I mean, is it really just something dumb? No. What's in my... Now I have something in my eye. I'm going to cry. Okay, what does this look like? Ouch, my eyeball. Oh. What are these weird... Ouch. What do we... I don't even know what to do. What am I even looking at? I don't even know what I'm even looking at. What does this even mean? Why does this exist? I hate it. It's hurting my feelings. Did I misread something about how it said to do that? Oh boy. Wait, why can't I... What? Why can't I inspect this? What does it use? Module. I feel like I did the thing it told me to do, right? Same CDN, same version. / examples, JSM controls. What am I missing? What am I missing? Oh my gosh. Why? Also, what is with this versioning? I feel like that's not normally how versioning for Three.js looks. Isn't it usually just like R17 or something? 0.137.5. So I have it exactly as described in the documentation, right? Right? This is so discouraging. It's like actually one of the things I think is good about JavaScript. Most things about JavaScript are bad, but one of the things that I think are like fairly good about JavaScript is fairly good about JavaScript is the notion that it's like, hey, just open a web browser, do what you want. You know, open your web browser, do the stuff you want to do. Really quick to prototype, really quick to experiment. Or should be. Should be. There's 3. I mean, can I do this and not do the stupid version thing? I guess it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter how much I hate it. But I guess in theory, I can just not do this, and then that would be like latest. It's not going to matter. It'll still be broken and stupid, right? What am I doing here? I'm buried under balls. Should I be on top of this? Where am I? Hello there. I know, before all the security stuff, before the web was ruined, we deserved this. Oh, that was nice. Okay, great. So, this is so... I mean, they're using rollup as part of their build, right? What's a little annoying, and this has always been a problem with 3, is a lot of these kinds of modules, which you would think of as like useful real production modules, they call examples. And that's just kind of been the way it is for a long time, I think. Like, so these are the module versions of all the examples, so that's why it's JSM, I guess. Should we just clone this? I don't want this. Why? Can't believe it, we're 137. Outrageous. Outrageous. Like, this is not going to be built, right? I mean, I guess it is, because the build's going to be here. But then the modules are built also, I guess? Oh boy. It's hurting my feelings. They're just there. You don't think they get built as part of their build process? Like, a little thing something that's weird is like their builds are pushed, you know? Like, they push, which I guess makes sense, but that's not the most common thing in the world, right? Is to have the build pushed to your repository. So, like, are these built? Convert lines to ES6. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe they're just here and they just have some process that does it or something. Or maybe these are actually written as the modules now and they do it the other way, where like the non-module versions are built. Updated example build. So that's weird. It seems like they do it the opposite way. I guess that makes sense. Maybe that makes sense. So the modules are the canonical versions and the non-modules are... Okay, that's all well and good. Whatever. That's great. But this is still dumb. Does GitHub Raw still exist? Where you could just like link to or git CDN? I don't know if I want to go this route. Well, I mean, it's a problem, and it's been a problem, I guess, for 10 years now, where it's like, oh, here's some example code, but it's like, oh, actually, this is code everybody wants, and everybody wants to be able to do this, but it's not quite core enough to be core. So I guess I would have assumed, like, over time, they could have moved into some idea of a plugin system, but I guess their solution for a plugin system is just modular version of the little example helpers. So I'm really stuck on what is the least annoying way to proceed, I have to say. Because we could do this. This. Can I put this in here? Does that work? Yeah. So you can do this get CDN thing. I don't know if it's going to be less annoying, but at least it gets some of the stupid Skypack stuff out of your face. Still might suck and be annoying. Why does anybody do web development? Okay. You know what I mean? Like, does this work? Can we just do this? No. Yes. Okay. So maybe this will be... Although my multi-line paste is not working the way I think it is supposed to be working. So we actually want to be in master examples. Does that seem right? I guess we'll try just one. See how we do. No, that's still broken. It's still broken. So it's even broken just here. So that's interesting. So I guess Skywalker is not to blame. Not fully to blame, at least. I mean, whatever. I could set up a Webpack project. I just don't want to. In principle, I don't want to. But at this point, it would have taken less time. So what's your dumb problem? So is this literally the problem? Is that it's lowercase 3? Is that our whole... Is that the whole deal here? Like if I did this, everything would be happy? Is it that dumb? Is that the world we're living in? Seems to not be the only problem. Really? It looks like it's just 3. Right? Import all your dumb stuff from 3. This is going to export it as whatever. Yeah. Really? Like, this isn't just declared because it's declared here? I would have thought it was, but is that not true? Is that not how life works? I mean, I kind of would have thought that if 3 exists in this scope, when I import this, it would be happy. Curious. Am I the only one on Earth having this issue? Is this true? Oh. I mean, I don't don't think I can do this, but you know, that's like kind of where my brain's going. Like, it's almost like it wants 3 just as like, oh. It's not worth getting it. I don't know. I don't know what the like least, the like low friction way to deal with this is. This seems so impressively dumb and annoying. Am I just like totally missing some very obvious thing? Am I handling it well? I don't know. I feel like I'm just missing some piece of this. It's just so stupid. This is such a... Why is software development so bad and so dumb? Like, how is this my problem? Why is this my problem? Like, and I feel like did I just miss something in here? This is so annoying that they're like, oh, just install it from npm, just do that, it's no problem. And then, oh, but by the way, you have to figure out your build system and so on. You probably want some kind of bundling tool, whatever. And now it's like, here's a link to an article to read about bundling. Like, why? And then it says install from CD under static hosting. That's great. So we do that. And then it's talking about the examples, and it says, if it was installed from CDN, just use this. Am I like, what am I missing? Am I missing something? I don't. Installed from CDN. I mean, it says install from CDN, and this is the example. And so like we did this, right? So what's the right way out of this stupid problem? I mean, I get it. When you look in here, it imports and it's saying like, hey, where's 3? I'm trying to import from 3. So like, I guess it just also like, why is this in its own? I just don't know what it wants me to do. You know, I like NPM. NPM's fine if I'm doing a Node.js application. I'm not. I'm just trying to do something in a web browser, and I don't want a build step. Like what? It feels like I just must be missing something incredibly obvious. Like why does this not just work? Why can't I just? It's not working. There is a bug. Okay. Should we just change the links to unpackage instead? Probably the best approach. So this was 6 days ago. Should we do this instead? Does this really get us what we need? Like, does this give me the module version? Is this going to be 3.module? Or do we need to do that? I think this is not correct, right? This is not going to work. But if we do, okay, so we're so happy. The question really is like, where do we need to be to hit this? But I guess it's at the same, it's just going to be here, right? Wait, that's, oh, good grief. Why is my, maybe there's an update for this plugin. I should go look. It's still broken. It's still broken. It's still broken. It's still broken. Crusty the Sock, what is going on? Yeah, but I mean, it's okay. It's just let's. I hear you, but like I literally looked at the thing. There was a git. I'm trying to. There's an issue, and the issue is like, yeah, it doesn't work. Great. The issue suggests using unpackage, which it says that's what the problem is. So like, they say it's a bug with Skypack. Doesn't really seem like it is. Right? It doesn't. What's my, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm falling apart. The code pen, great. Switching examples to using import maps breaks examples in external apps. Okay. Okay, this has broken a lot of stuff. Great. Please use this. Okay, but it's broken. I mean, are you telling me if I like revert to 4? Is it just literally broken in this latest build or something? It's a lot of balls. I mean, you know, sometimes the docs lie. Okay, that's so broken. It feels like we're not really. Okay, there's a heart on this. Okay, so this says we can use 136. So, I mean, all of this is within the last 2 weeks. So am I just like incredibly unfortunate? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? The manual's live editor is not compatible with the new. Well, hey, that's great. Whatever. Whatever. How about now? It seems like unpackage is slow. This is all a mistake. Did I do 160? Is that okay? Well, great. Here we are. What a waste of time. What a tremendous waste of time. But but nothing. It was just a waste of time. Great. Okay, so I don't remember how to do the effects composer. I don't remember how to do any of that. So let's see what we need to do. So we want to render the scene. So we want an FX composer and all that jazz. That's all fine. And then on animate mixer.update. I don't know what that means. What is mixer? Is that the little control dude? I mean, whatever. It's fine. It's just, it was not very clear. It's obviously not clear. The discussions are not super helpful, but whatever. We are in a something resembling a functional state, but whatever. Okay, so we want to render the composer. So I think all we really need is just to steal this. Why can I not select this? Okay. It's been a while, but I think we want an effects composer. We want a render pass, etc., scene.add, so on and so forth. Kind of late. I need to be quiet. Shh. Render pass scene camera. So now instead of renderer, we want a composer.render. Is that what it's called? Yeah. Broke it. We broke it. That's fine. Bloom, threshold, strength, etc. So where are those parameters defined? That is so many balls. Okay, let's switch to kisses. I'm glad the balls are working. But I do want to push this button. Okay. I need to make the balls expire, obviously. But, you know, we just made the balls a few days ago. Okay, what do we want? Kiss? Is it kiss? Nobody needs to see the screen. I forgot what the kissing booth is. The kissing booth? Kissing? What's it called? It's my favorite. You think I would remember. Kissing. Okay. Can we have kisses now? Yes, we have kisses. Okay. Everybody loves the balls. I know, they're good. I just need to make them expire. Eventually expire. Anyway, okay, so back on track. Right. We just, in the process of stealing code, did not steal the parameters. We don't want to... It's interesting, though. Is this not using Dat GUI? Does it have its own something? I don't know what that... All right. It's funny that that's a const, but hey. Let's start here. Well, sure. Let's not start here. Let's start here. Why? I don't understand. Why is the other... There's some crazy thing. Okay, wait. Heat is totally turned off. Is it on another scene? Okay. Wait. Where is it? What is happening? Heat overlay. I'm losing my mind. Okay, I totally removed that browser. You did break it. It's okay. It's good. It's good testing. Good. You're good beta testers, meaning you just break everything all the time. Okay, check this out. We have very, very, very glowy glow, which is great. Just exceedingly glowy glow. Somewhat less glowy glow. I mean, I don't know. These probably, you know, it's not analogous to whatever our unity values are. Whew. We'll just have to figure out what... I mean, Oh, is that what we want? One more radius? Weird. Look at the weird dark spots around the edge. Okay, I don't know what these numbers mean, so we'll figure them out at a later time. Okay, anyway. We got a glowy glow. That's not bad. Okay, that's not terrible actually. The is this wrong now? I mean, I don't have any real sense of, I guess we could try to normalize this based on the length or whatever. I don't know. But would I get these wrong? That would be green, that would be blue. That would be green, that would be blue. I think I actually had additional multipliers on these in that original shader. Yeah, times 0.5, times 0.5. So we did dampen these a little. Okay. Well, now it looks disgusting. Gross. What was our... What were we lerping? Oh, well, I was getting the length of that and then clamping it to 1, and who knows what I was doing. We just want some kind of like gradient-y thing. Although, it sort of seems like we really want the inverse of this. And by that I mean 1.0. Okay, that is a bit more... Doesn't look good, but that's kind of closer to where we were. Right? We didn't have the Fresnel yet, but that's... We can Fresnel at our leisure. Okay, well, it looks awful. Granted, yes. Does it look good? No. Does it look awful? Yeah, looks awful. But gives us an idea of what we're working with. The threshold's pretty funny. I guess it really is just like a value thing. A lot of what the like bad Fresnel from the other version is important. We could cram that into the shader, but do I want anti-aliasing? Probably. Isn't that part of the isn't that a parameter to the WebGL renderer? Like anti-aliasing true or something? I don't think that was right. Anti-alias true? Am I remembering this after 10 years? Okay, I forgot it. Wait, is it anti-aliasing or anti-alias? Hey, look at me remember things from 10 years ago. You want to see one of the first things I made in WebGL? Let's see. I think it still works. I hope it still works. This thing? This is May 2021. June 2021. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Hey, it still works. I did refresh it at least a few years ago. This is everybody that's visited my website in the last month. and you can go in and you can learn all about them. Axio, where do you live? You can just tell me the city. You don't have to tell me your exact address. Tell me your address. Upper left of South Carolina. I don't see any South Carolinas in here. I mean, I'm not calling you a liar, but I don't actually know what the delay is. It could be 24 hours. It might take 24 hours. It's all Google Analytics under the hood. Actually, though, I could get way better now. I could get way better data now because of Cloudflare. So I could write a worker that. I have to think about that. Or just more flexible data, I feel like, than I could get from. I mean, am I not doing this right? Americas, North America, United States. Could be an unknown. I got some unknown people in the United States. I don't see any Carolinas. I mean, actually, but you know how like these are reverse IP lookups, so they can be inaccurate. It could like you can be a state away or something. So, could be in your neighborhood and it's just falling onto another state. Anyway, I don't know who knows even what version of Three.js this was. I've updated it since. I thought it actually told you. But this wouldn't be the original. I definitely. So this is version release 41, but I feel like I've even updated it since then. Yeah, that's true. With NordVPN, you can break my map, basically. Okay, so the real question is with all this glowy, and all of this, are the icosahedron density that we currently have, if we are still going to hit 60 on this machine. 60? That does not look anti-alias to me, though. Neither does this. Why doesn't it look anti-aliasing? So I feel like I'm missing something. So 3.js anti-alias. Isn't it something like... Anti-alias true. It's just an options parameter to WebGL renderer. Kind of weird that there's not more. I mean, it's just true or false. There's no. I mean, it didn't really jump out to me as being smoother after I did the thing, but it could be that our glow buffer is lower resolution. I mean, it does not look particularly anti-alias to me. Am I wrong? And it has a parameter to the WebGL renderer, right? WebGL renderer. Kind of weird that that's not described. Oops. Is WebGL 2? Do I have to do anything to make that happen? Oops. Oh, come on. Undefined. What did I do wrong? Renderer is WebGL 2. What did I say? Renderer. Capabilities. Renderer dot capabilities. Why would I trust something I read on the internet? It says it's true. So anti-aliasing should be supported, so I don't know. Is it just gunk from the effects composer? Like, is the effects composer? Does that need to be told to anti-alias as well? Cool. Renderer and render target. But you know what I mean? Like, maybe you can't. I think often when you're like creating a render buffer, you have to. Yeah, look how smooth that is. That looks anti-alias to me. Maybe. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, it's honestly a little hard to tell. Well, so for the effects composer, presumably you're rendering to a off-screen buffer of some kind, like equivalent of a Unity render texture. So, oh, I see. So you could do, FXAA instead, like add that to your effects composer chain and do the whatever that is, fast approximate anti-aliasing, I think is this. But maybe there's another way. Well, yeah. So I think this. I mean, I think this is whatever MSAA, like or whatever it is, like just like the hardware version. But this would be the actual pixel anti-aliasing, which I think makes sense. Was that one of the options here? Oh, I'm lost. Or one of the examples, FXAA, yeah. So smooth, so chunky. Smooth, chunky. It's gonna be more expensive, but maybe we can get away with it. So I don't remember how to chain things. Add pass. Is that all we have to do? Is add pass and then just add a FXAA pass? Is that all I have to do? Maybe? Maybe? Interesting. Is it add pass? Render pass. Oh, it's a copy pass. So we copy it here. Is that what's going on? But I don't want to do that. I just want this. Right? That's all I want. Do I have to do any other thing? Pixel ratio. It looks like we do. Maybe need to set. Yeah, you probably need to know the pixel ratio. Oops. Something like this. Great. Ah, thanks, Axial. That's nice of you to say. FXA shader, this is great. Let's just import every single thing one at a time. Shader. Oh, I don't know where that shader lives. Where do you think that shader lives? I'm guessing it's in there. I guessed right. Container, huh? What's that mean? Renderer. Why would it be the container size and not the renderer size? Okay, did we do it? I mean, sort of. Maybe this is not actually a value. Just make up numbers. It's not going to be right, but okay. We can, I mean, obviously we can figure out what that is, but for the moment. Okay. So now clear cache, go to start URL. We still get 60. Feels a little chunkier than I would like, but you know, it's kind of hard to say with as it's kind of hard to say with as like bad as it looks, like with as over bloomy and so forth as it currently looks. But it's in the ballpark. So it's definitely not as pretty as the Unity version currently for a number of reasons. I think a lot of that is really just the like kind of contrast from the Fresnel and just the way the glow looks. But you know, the bloom, not so hot. Yeah, it's not so hot, but I'm not going to say it's hopeless. It might just need... I mean, the thing to do is what I'm not doing at all, which is actually add a GUI to sliders and stuff, where we could tune it a little better. What I'm curious about with that, actually, speaking of, is what are they using here if this isn't Dat GUI? Because it doesn't look like Dat GUI. Maybe they have their own little doodad, which would be cool. GUI. Lil GUI, it's called. Which is interesting. Oops. So it kind of looks like it's kind of that's interesting. I would have thought that would have been part of the bloom, but it's not. It's from the renderer. But so I think that's all this takes. Let's just do it. Let's do it. What a mess. What a mess this file is. But that's okay. Tidy it up if we feel like this is the thing we want to pursue. Which, you know, maybe. Excuse me. Basically this, just this. So then we could it's funny, they had the bloom radius capping at 1. And I had pushed it to 2, but I mean, there is something about it that is feeling kind of low res. I don't know if it's like using a smaller buffer size and we could do it, or just the way it does its bloom is not happy. Well, the exposure seems like it does nothing, but I don't know why. What was the other? Didn't it have another bloom? Unreal Bloom Selective? Oh. Interesting. Cute. That's cute. I mean, maybe this bloom just sucks. Maybe it's just not good. There's some other anti-aliasings. What is TAA? Temporal anti-aliasing. I see. That seems to... Okay. Seems like it froze the browser there for a second. So we could get, maybe we get our DOF back. Get a little DOF back. What is DOF Part 2, the sequel? So I do feel a little bit like the bloom is not the most beautiful thing. I guess these additional parameters are kind of funny. The bloom pass with the window width and the height. I don't know what the other parameters are. What are they? Okay, I gotta sign off soon. I didn't mean to go this long. All I wanted to do was impress Axio. That was just the whole goal here, was to try to do this in the browser. And we did it. We kind of did it. I just want to see the source code of the bloom. Can you just tell me? Good grief. Examples. Jasem. Wait, post-processing? Unreal Bloom. There's a Bloom pass and an Unreal Bloom pass. What's the difference? And why isn't there an example? Why isn't there a non... Why is there no example just for that bloom? I wonder. Is no longer favored? Oh my gosh, I'm never gonna find that window. I'm never gonna find it. Where was it? Never gonna find it. This is it. Okay. So, strength, kernel size, sigma resolution. I mean, we could just try this. Blur. or Unreal Bloom Pass. Resolution, strength, radius, and threshold. So these are just the parameters we're controlling. And the resolution would appear to be the full resolution, right? I mean, is this what I should be doing here? Possibly, perhaps. I don't think it's hopeless. I think we just need to like tune. We didn't port the full shader over. We could read the normals to try to get a little more abnormal. What are these text things I have here? I don't know what those were. Who knows why those are in this scene? Get out of here. Yes, deleted. What is this thing? Don't know. What is this thing? Don't know. What is this thing? Don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it. Video police is still here in case Kyle wants to come just take over. So, I mean, it's 60 FPS. It appears to be. It appears to be very solid. Without all the fussing that we were doing yesterday, which is nice. But I think it's, I don't know. I think it's less pretty, but we did have to kind of, I don't know what to do. There's definitely advantages to doing it web browsery. There's things about that I like for this purpose here. I don't know what all this dragging is. Who knows? But at least I can, we can tune things. Kind of cool, actually, the way the threshold is breathing. Like, if we just had the threshold at effectively 0 and then just controlled the strength here. And the device doesn't feel like it's burning on fire. It's a little bit warm. But it's warm where this is plugged in, so that really could just be like battery chargy, maybe. I don't know where the brains of this device are, but I would assume they were not exactly where the plug is, because I would assume that's where the battery is, but what do I know? So, what do we do? What do we do here? You know what, actually, I want to know? Here's the thing I want to know. I can't remember. No, Leap Motion JavaScript. I think this is a thing. I think there's a way. Yeah, is this still real? Is this still maintained? I seem to remember that they cut a bunch of languages out. Like that they cut language support for a bunch of languages. But I could be totally wrong. So this is developer archive. I kind of think, and I think they still have some of the old versions, but so legacy APIs, JavaScript, but is this legacy land? And so is this not Gemini migration guide? Like, I think they abandoned the JavaScript layer. I think. I might be wrong about that. Which would be kind of lame. Wait, touch-free tooling for web? Does that... I mean, I don't really want to... All I want is the raw data. I don't want it to be fancy. Touch-free 2.1. Award-winning touch-free software. Kiosk applications. But I want to... So, I don't know. I want to... That's not for this device. This, because obviously this is just... You'll touch the screen on this, but I have something else in mind for this thing. Web, C API, Unity API. So but this is not what I really want. I want the actual tracking. I don't want just like, you know? And maybe I can get it all? Maybe? I guess the thing I don't know is if I can get all fingers, but because you used to be, there was some little dude, I mean, I think it was the client that ran on the system, just like, I don't know if you connected to it with a WebSocket, I can't quite remember, but well, whatever. I just kind of don't want to make two versions of this. It does make me curious, though, if we used Unity and used the Unity WebGL build, how that performance would compare. We would assume worse, but I guess I don't know. I mean, there's a C API. So I think if you want to do it from a browser, you have to do the touch-free thing. And that's not what I want. That's just not the thing that I want. I want the actual, I don't just want a cursor. I want the whole deal. I don't know what UltraLab is. I mean, so maybe I could still use the legacy API? Possibly? But I seem to remember this being like a kind of relatively recent change, is that they decided to not support other platforms they were previously supporting, and they were just going to do Unity and Unreal, and then have a C API. But I think you can still use this. I don't really see a reason that you couldn't. But you just don't. I don't think you can use the latest software. Which is tough, because for that particular thing that I have in mind, I probably would want to use Unity. But for the thing that I have in mind for this, I kind of don't want to use Unity. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do with my life? What if we did this? Can't. Like, how bad would this be? I got the information. I don't know if I got a ship date. I did just get like some confirmation that I had to like go to the store and spend my coupon and pay my $20 shipping or whatever. So I did go through the order process of the Oak Tea, but I did not actually pay attention if there was a delivery date. Oak Tea. We got some of the non-lights for SETI, but I have not played with it yet. Okay. Do I have a ship date? I have an invoice. Order confirmed. I don't think I got a ship date. SF Express, e-parcel registered, but I don't see a ship date. Speaking of ship dates, yeah, I wasn't expecting that email until a little later. Speaking of ship dates, two things. One, I ordered some tools that I think have not shipped yet, which is annoying because I want the tools. Two, I've complained about this, but I'm going to complain about it again until I have one in my hand. My ship date for my Steam Deck, I don't understand why I have a bad slot, because I feel like I ordered it as fast as I possibly could given how flaky the service was. But like on release day or announcement day, I feel like shipping is not treating me well. However, it doesn't matter because I'm going to be rich soon, because for some reason in like the last 2 months, I have gotten so many, that was weird. For some reason in the last 2 months, I have gotten so many class action lawsuit calls. Like, you know, normally I get maybe one once every few years. This year I've had 4 or 5 already. Or maybe not just this year, but say in the last 3 months. Maybe it was partially in December. So, order place working on packaging. It said that for like a week. I don't believe you, Chad's Toolbox. Chad's Toolbox, why would you lie to me? What are these punches? Look at this Hudset ratchet. I want one of these Vera sets, but it makes me angry that there's not a symmetrical set. All of their sets have like more flathead than Philips, which is maybe like functionally correct, but I just don't like the asymmetry. Kind of want these wire strippers. Okay, we gotta stop if I'm gonna just start looking at tools. Stream needs to end. They had a good deal. Oh, tool of the day is up at KC Tools. What's the tool of the day? This is the best part of the day. It's like Christmas every day to see what the new tool is. I have really no need for circlip pliers, but somebody out there is going to be very happy. to get 37% off. Although KC tool prices are pretty inflated, so. This little set, I think this little Philo was a tool of the day recently. Maybe it was just on sale. But I don't need it because I already ordered some other ratchets. Or, yeah, 2 ratchets, 3 ratchets, I guess, and some sockets, all 1/4 inch, which is maybe ridiculous when I say it out loud, but hey, what are you going to do? You know what I would like? I would like a good electronics set, like good set of pliers and snippers that's a consistent set for electronics. KnepX has one, but it's like $200, and that's a bit much. But I would like a high quality one. So like this gear wrench one, gear wrench isn't terrible. Irwin, Micromark Jewelers, that's not quite what I want. Stanley, Craftsman, so yeah, like here's the KnepX one, which is amazing, but it's $250, and that's not gonna work for me. But I'd like them to be like medium nice. I mean, maybe Tecton. KnepX has some cool, like look at this KnepX set with Veris screwdrivers. But it feels like there has to be somewhere, like some range that's, these are decent, they're very high quality, they are not $250. They're also not $20. So like, I don't know. Maybe they're Japanese, maybe they're like engineer brand or whatever. The American version of, I think they're Vampires in the US. Maybe that's not true. Holy crap, 70% off. I mean, that'd still be very expensive, but. I mean, gear wrench is not, it's just not very fun, but also no flush cutters in the set, which is a little weird. I mean, I have flush cutters that I like. Pliers sets, but I want mini. I want like little precision electronics pliers. But I want a very, yeah, just a quality set, but not so high quality that it is $200. That's my $100, something like that. This Proto one is cute. ESD, $100. It's only 4 pieces though. I guess I don't need it to have flush cutters. Like, I have flush cutters. This is not what we were supposed to be doing. I kind of forgot what I was trying to do, but I was just called in by the siren song of tools. So what about this Proto set? What do we think about Proto? It's cute little Irwin. Where are you made? Country of origin, United States. Excuse me, United States of America. I mean, I do like those little bendy dudes. They seem cool. They seem not bad. Micromark, huh? I mean, these are insane. I definitely don't need really super fancy jeweler's ones, but they're cute. Wish they had a, so they have a jeweler's set. Nice if there was a like little precision electronics set. I don't know what to think about Micromark. Sometimes I look at Micromark and I'm like, well, obviously I need all of these tiny tools. Just, it's obvious, but maybe not. These cute little KnepX. Do I need them? No. Do I want them? Also no, because they're expensive, but also yes. This Tecton set, $80, but look at all these pliers. Some duplicates here, or are those just of different sizes? 3-piece, 8-piece, 4-piece, 5-piece. Maybe this is the way to go. That's 3-piece jewelry. This little 4-piece. Where are these made? Taiwan? Did you do it? You got the case? I didn't get any. I didn't go for any of the upsells. Maybe I should have. I resisted. What is it for? It's just, I don't know. My dream is to have a nice little shop. I'm some years from that full dream. So I am kind of building out my workshop, I guess, one tool at a time. And so I've been kind of upgrading tools that I use a lot, or that are kind of worn out or were never very high quality to begin with. So the pliers I have are just these old Spark Fun. This is sort of my little electronic set. So these Tectons I think I found on the ground at one point, but they work reasonably well. They're okay. These Tectons are okay. These are okay. The snips are pretty dull. The spring mechanism is pretty annoying. It's just like like a little springy piece of steel, I guess. And it's always coming out of alignment, and it doesn't stay where it's supposed to be. So they're a bit annoying to use because I have to every now and then fuss with them to kind of get them to do the thing they're supposed to do. So it's not a deal breaker, but you want to have tools that you enjoy using. And the tension's just not very good on them, and whatever. They were very inexpensive. They've lasted me 10 years. They're not broken, but they're just not very good. These are okay. Like these, the little spring doodad has held up a little better. Maybe I could adjust these using these other pliers, perhaps. Pull this out, pull this out. So that's a little better on the tension, but it already slid out. So anyway, I would like to have a little bit nicer set. And then these are the little Hako snips. I have a few pairs of these, and they're okay. These are okay. So I don't really mind these flush cutters, but yeah, these are the main things I would like an upgrade for. But I guess I was kind of figuring like, well, if I'm going to upgrade, it would be kind of nice to get a nice little set. But then I just start looking at tools, and it's like I can't resist them. Okay, we don't need to look at that anymore. Wait, wrong thing. This. Okay, I just have to get like suckered by this fake lie. But maybe one day, I mean, those have like some crazy little flush cutter, or not even flush cutter, like end cutters, I guess. And then side cutters, and then I don't even know what I would describe these as. Excuse me, these versus these, just, I don't really know quite what the distinction is. I don't know. I don't need them, but I also, of course, I need them. So, okay, what were we talking about before I got distracted? WebGL, that's what it was. We were installing the WebGL. So maybe we waited just long enough. It's all complete. WebGL support, okay. Will that automatically appear here? It did. Try switching platform. And then I really have to stop. It's almost midnight. Outrageous. What an outrage. This is getting a bit toasty on the back. I would also like to get a little thermal thermal imager at some point would be a nice thing to have. I mean, there's those like point at a thing and get a temperature. Those are not very expensive, but like real thermal imagers, like FLIRs, kind of costly. I mean, okay, you say that, but okay, so now we're in WebGL mode, presumably. You want some nice little electronics players, or you want to shop? Or you want both? This is annoying because I have installed it, and so it's installed. So it's kind of annoying that it will not let me build. It let me switch to it. Okay, let's exit here, come back. Oh, thermal camera? What are you thinking? FLIR? I feel like I just saw one announced. It's like some alternate brand. Sometimes you can get crazy deals on these old ones, especially the micro USB one. If you had like a burner phone or something to plug in, because nobody wants the micro USB version anymore. They want the Lightning or the USB-C version. So I think these were even like $100. They're quite cheap. Comparatively cheap. Recently. I don't know if that's still true. And maybe I should have gotten one just to use it. And like it would have been cheaper to get some old. Maybe that's not true. Because I actually don't have an old phone anymore that has micro USB. But probably by the time you bought a crappy old phone and bought a FLIR, you're like, you've already blown your budget. I mean, even here you can see the micro USB one is 20% off. But I thought I just saw like some new brand or some, can't remember. I mean, I'm sure there are tons of knockoffs, but I feel like I saw one that seemed to be reputable. But now I don't remember where. Maybe it was on Indiegogo when I was looking at the OKT stuff. It's kind of cool from the front. You should be able to flip this around and rotate it. Okay. It looks really good in Unity. It's really grown on me. I really was not liking this way. Because, again, like the ghostly ethereal version, I was more into that. Okay. We want... whatever. Just curious. This might be really slow. But I'll take a gander. I have on-screen reporting of the It didn't happen. What happened? Didn't build. What went wrong? What? That doesn't sound like a me problem. Okay, we may give up on this for tonight. Okay, here's the divide. Is currently it looks better in Unity, but is functional at least in the browser, and we could continue to spend time on the browser side of things, trying to make it prettier, which maybe we could do. It doesn't look terrible, just doesn't look great. The issue, I guess, is I have two visions for where this thing will live. One of them is maybe like an installation with a one of those holographic screens whose name is escaping me. What's the thing called? I can't remember. Anyway, one of those things, maybe. That would be, but that would probably be better to use the Unity version. I mean, we almost have to, right? Like, if we're gonna use that dumb screen, we have to use a thing that can properly render, and it probably has to be like a burlier machine because you're effectively rendering it from 30 directions and so on and so forth. So there's that piece of the puzzle. And then there's this version that's just like for a little tiny frame to hang on a wall. And the tiny frame to hang on a wall, I kind of would like to be a web version, because one, it seems a little easier to lock down a Android device in kiosk mode from if it's a web page. And then it also makes it easier to do, like additional weird things. Like, if I wanted to do other kinds of webby kinds of whatever, click a thing, automation, whatever. Of course, we could do all that in Unity, but it would just be much easier to just do it all browsery. So, and to update it or whatever, and not have to make new builds or whatever. So, I don't know. But I also definitely really don't want to get caught up in trying to make two versions of the same thing that look and function identically on two totally different platforms, because that would be a crazy person thing to do. I mean, that sounds like a thing I would do, but it's because I'm a crazy person. February 10th. How is this happening? How is 2022 already blurring by? I don't understand. Okay, while this builds, I'm gonna look. Okay. What are we doing here? We're waiting for this wasm build. I sort of in my heart don't believe this is gonna work. I mean, it's still 2020 as far as I'm concerned. I that is a thing. Normally there's a grace period at the beginning of any year where it's very common to continue typing or writing the previous year, but it's like 2021 never happened, and I still default back to 2020. It's still March of 2020 as far as I'm concerned. And when you get to, when you start to become an old person like me, time just goes so quickly. The years start coming and they don't stop coming. And then you just become an old person who just wants to look at pictures of tools on the internet. Like this. We get like a Japanese mini pliers set. Like Japanese electronics pliers set, or we're still going back there. We're struggling with this search for some reason. So there's these engineer pliers, which honestly, I'm not crazy about them. Like engineer pliers, some people swear by them. They seem like quality pliers, but man, the handles are so stupid looking. Maybe that's a crime to say, but I just think they look dumb. They look dumb. I think these Sunodas are not bad, but I don't want full size. I want like a little electronics pliers set, Those Tectons seem like are the protos. I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know who to turn to. I don't know what is like the definitive brand for I mean, normally I guess you would say that Kinepex is the definitive brand for pliers of all kinds. Okay, look, we got a web browser. would appear we have no anti-aliasing in the browser. But it does work. So what's the port? 50622 50662. 50662. Okay. Yes. Did I do that correctly? Sort of seems like I didn't. Maybe it only is allowing connections from localhost. Did I not get that right? 50662. Clear the cache. Go to start URL. Zane's unhappy, and there's a tiny Android in the corner just looking at me. But maybe it really is this slow to load. I don't know. Seems slow. Seems like obscenely, absurdly, outrageously slow. Can we? Is it possible? Do we think we can get the WebGL version looking like this? It just looks pretty freaking cool, I think. I don't know what's going on here. Why is this Android looking at me? I guess I could just do this instead, right? What do I do? I go here and go spherical glow. Nope. That's where this goes. And go back to 8080. Never should have left 8080. And go back here, and go back here, and go here, and go here. Uh-oh. Oh, are you serious? Okay, I can't load it because it's gzipped. And I guess the node, like the HTTP serve, doesn't support gzip. That'd be kind of weird, but whatever. We're done. We're done for the moment. I just have to think about what I really want to accomplish. And I have to, I mean, look at this little Cobalt set. I don't want a Cobalt set, but it's the right idea. These vampires. Which is really, I think vampires is just the name under which engineer pliers are sold in the US. But the handles are just so, I don't know, they look like Batman's. They look like Batman's pliers. I mean, Tecton maybe. Or those Sonoda or whatever they were. Plier set, EEV blog. Somebody here knows, right? Yeah, I don't know Teiko or Hako. Maybe Teiko. Schmitz. I mean, this may be a little dated. It's many years ago now, but Schmitz. Those look fancy. I don't even know all these brands. I mean, look at these. Why? Why did they look like this? Why? I don't want Lowe's store brand, but I mean, this is kind of the right idea. Why do you have to look like Batman? Cute little set. Is this all I need? Some snippy ones, some grippy ones, and some snippy grippies. Harbor Freight. I mean, you know, if you want disposable tools, they will break and you can go get new ones. I have some Harbor Freight stuff. I mean, it's not a bad philosophy if you're buying a tool for the first time to get the Harbor Freight version, and then when you break it, then you know, like, well, I use this, so I should go buy a real tool. And that's not, you know, that's for like the Pittsburgh stuff. I think there's quality tools at Harbor Freight, right? Like Icon. Okay, so we got long nose pliers that can snip and grip. We got flat nose pliers that can grip, and we got little diagonal cutters. I like these. Like this, I could live with this set. I mean, this is almost the set that I have in my toolbox that I would be replacing. Procrastination 109. I know. Here we go. I'm really done for the night. I'm done. We're done. I just need to think about what I want to do next. But yes, you called me out, and your assessment is correct. GT pack. Doesn't seem weird. There's no sets. I would like some nice strippers though. Strippers also. I've been using the same strippers for 10 years. Whoa, look at these. Willkommen in der Welt von Schmitz. Welcome in the world from Schmitz? What? I'm bad at German, in case that's not apparent. I'm sure I got that wrong. I mean, these are very pretty. Look how pretty they are. Are they outrageously expensive? Welcome to the world of Schmitz. Okay. That makes a little more sense. Well, these are not crazy. Okay, that's a little crazy. This, I mean, it's in the ballpark of this Knipex. But I don't know. I don't really need a 6 set. Look how pretty they are. So shiny. Like, what do we got here? That flush and that diagonal. So 3 kinds of cutters, 3 kinds of pliers. None of these pliers are these all flat jaws? Three cutting, 3 gripping. So we get a side cutter. Snipe nose. I mean, I don't know the answer. I do know that this music is very jazzy. Weha does have, I mean, normally you think of them as screwdriver people. They do have other... I think they're big. You know? I don't know if they have any little friends. They have precision electronics players. But I mean, are these just the same as my... They sure look a lot like the Hakos. Maybe they're just actually the same. Heiko or Hako? Which one is it? I mean, these are the same tool, right? Or they came from the same factory. The grips are different, but they do have the weird little target. The pattern is a little different. The grips, I think, are the same. Not the same. These have these little holes here. They do have the little notch there. They have the little weird target kind of thing on the pivot. So maybe these are just made by one company and then branded. These say made in Italy. Where did these say they are made? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. No one knows where these are made. No country of origin. Okay, country. They're from Italy. So apparently Italians make good flush cutters. I mean, these are pretty cute. Look at these little electronic. Actually, that seems very costly for these. I don't think these are nearly as expensive from Heiko or Hako. Heiko? I should learn that. I should learn it. It's kind of cool. I mean, look at those long nose pliers, Hako from Home Depot for $10. Is that just the secret here? Let's just get the I feel like I don't know why, just something about the way these pliers look is just weird to me. I know that's weird. Is that the secret? I mean, I have a friend who's So I have a friend who's like has a real fixation. I do too to some extent, but very specialized tools for like highly specific use cases, which I love to look at. She likes to own them. But I don't know. Something about these pliers, kind of weird. And I would like some just, I guess, less fancy dino cutters. But in general, these feel pretty good. They do their job pretty well. Yeah, I want only the latest. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know about any of this. I don't know about anything. We did it though. We ported to WebGL, even though it was more annoying than it should have been for silly reasons that apparently only happened within the last 2 weeks after me not using it for years. But whatever. We did okay. So Binary, thanks for hanging out. Axio, of course. Kyle, wherever you went. Draklin. G-Souts. Am I saying that right? G-S-Outs? G-Souts? Thanks for stopping by. Anybody else who dropped by, I do appreciate it. So the thing we probably want to do next. Yeah, we got it for Nell. Or other. Yeah, okay. We should do that. We should at least try to get give the WebGL version a chance to shine. Even though I've almost talked myself into going fully Unity, but well, you know, those aren't totally mutually exclusive, but we could do Unity WebGL maybe. But anyway, I think that's gonna do it. Thanks for hanging out. Maybe we'll stream tomorrow. I mean, it already is tomorrow. Maybe we'll stream later today. You know what I mean. Goodbye.